Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Championship Series Winter Edition. Did you miss us? We are back with more Zerg versus Zerg action as we move into the lower bracket match. My name is Fear Dragon. I am joined by Nathanius for this awesome and exciting Zerg versus Zerg, where one of these players is going to get knocked out of WCS Winter.
Yes, I had a vision. I was asleep on my Iron Throne last night, and I saw through the vast space-time continuum Nidus worms everywhere. And I feel like
Think this is going to be
this
it?
is the moment.
Okay.
This right here defines everything. And then we get to the winners match where we have like, a series that everyone's really excited for, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping we get to see the Nidus Worms because I've really been enjoying the Zerg versus Zerg Nidus Worm meta. Now, we didn't quite get too many. In fact, I think we maybe got one earlier in Europe.
Not even close to enough Nidus Worms in that last match.
Yeah, the last match we got one Nidus Worm. Didn't go so well. But I am hoping that these players will maybe show something a little bit different. We will find out as we move on to King's Cove. On top of the blue Zerg player. His name is Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You're definitely offending some people with that. In the top left, we have the red Zerg player. He is Cham. ZvZ. So, Fear Dragon, what'd you eat for breakfast?
Starbucks.
Nice. I guess there's calories in a lot of their drinks.
And then I had barbecue legs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
At break room, man.
I woke up and I made eggs. I already told you. You already did that.
You had a great start to today.
I made myself.
Why are you so pepper?
4 scrambled eggs. That's the dream. That's my I'm still young enough to do this breakfast. Almost. Maybe. That's why I came in so chipper, exactly. It's been a good day. Also, I knew I was excited because the release of the skins and the start of the round of 16. I'm happy that we're into the round of 16. You were just Fear Dragon, you guys, I know sometimes it seems like Fear Dragon doesn't have a lot of passion, but he came into the back room and the first thing he said to me was he was so excited that we were finally getting all these good, close, competitive series.
Yeah.
Especially like that last
Definitely no sarcasm on that.
And I hope that this series is just as competitive, Fear Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit tough. I do think that this is going to be one of the closer matches in this group. The other match probably being the winner's bracket match.
Oh, the winner's match is
Scarlet.
Sick.
That is the one that I think a lot of people looked at this group and like, I'm here for Special versus Scarlet. This is going to be another match that really could go either way. Cham, definitely a player that likes to go into that mid-game, and it can be very strong when he gets to this mid-game with his roaches, getting up Tunneling Claws, maybe throwing in some Nidus Worms here and there. But I want to know more about how Rex is going to try and play this out versus someone like Cham. He's sending a couple of lings across the map. This is enough to be annoying, to maybe delay a super fast third base, and also to potentially pick off a queen that's out of position, as he did go for the pool before hatchery build. He wants to get something done here.
Yeah, getting really close to that drone. A drone kill here would be ace. Does damage some links, but there's that queen you were talking about. Gets the surround on top of Cham's first queen. Is she even going to get an inject off? No! Wow, I feel like that's a huge mistake. I feel like if you get in that situation, you almost always see them throw the inject.
Die, inject.
Dies. They die doing what you love. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And those queens love those hatcheries. So we end up seeing Rex finish or starting up Zergling speed a good bit later on, which means that, of course, there's going to be a period of time where Cham is going to have total map control, can decide if he wants to take that third base nice and early on. But King's Cove is one of those maps where you got a high ground third base connected to your natural. So in a lot of ways, this is a bit of an easier map to try and deal with any at least initial ling floods, because you can try and get some queens to wall off this area and position your lings to defend your other third base. And even if you don't have Zergling speed, it's a bit easier to defend.
+1 melee and a roach warren for Rex. Is he gonna do like a roach ling push?
I think that this is, my guess is that this is the fake out roach warren. You add it as a part of the wall.
Bait, and then you ling on anyway.
Yep. He's just making more lings behind this. And he's probably gonna try and hide the lings in the main base. I would be surprised if he didn't.
The amount of Zerglings that he could build by the time +1 finishes is a pretty crazy amount of Zerglings, Fear Dragon.
Wow, +1 Carapace starting up for Cham though. This
I think in this scenario, attack is still better, isn't it?
So, I mean, I don't think that Cham is going to be throwing down a Roach Warren. I mean, the attack and the weapon upgrade are just going to cancel each other out because you only get +1
this is
damage.
bait. It's bait, though, because you see the Roach Warren in the Wiggle Jiggle Evo Chamber. I think that okay, well, now he sees all the lings, but I was going to say, I think that the thought process there is they won't build a Baneling nest
but
because
Cham
they expect roaches.
That's true. Cham didn't overdrone that much more, though. He is down still a handful of lings, but he's got 16 lings on the way. His +1 Carapace is going to still be a good ways away from finishing. That is a little bit concerning. The Queens are going to help out, try and buy a little bit of time. Like you said, there's no Baneling nest here, but I think if Cham is able to get up that +1 Carapace, he is actually going to be able to cancel out the melee.
If you're Rex, you want to fight at the exact moment that +1 melee is done, because then you'll have just the teensiest of windows where +1 Carapace won't be finished. But you need to be very cautious as to not lose your Zerglings before that happens. And man, Cham just has such a huge ling.
Just going to right-click it down.
Without that upgrade to give Rex's army the oomph that it needs, no, you just can't do anything.
Yep, ends up losing the third base. Might end up taking some damage on these Queens.
God, the fight is going to end right as the upgrade finishes, isn't it? That's just always how it goes.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a little bit...
Wow! Both Queens survive.
Oh, and they got a chance to use healing them up a little bit longer.
We need to put a high blood pressure warning on this stream. Do not come in here if you are pregnant or on any medication. Goodness, the stress is nuts. Okay, so these lings are getting pushed back. Oh, and now the Carapace is done, so that +1 attack is not as big. I still like +1 attack because it will still help with picking off like buildings or stuff like that. And it's just always nice.
Yeah, Cham is getting away with not only the faster third base that's still alive and is now mining with 50 workers, but he's also getting away with the faster lair tech and a faster +1 missile attack upgrade. So Rex, he's got the double evo.
I'm going to say I really like Rex's +1 Carapace with these lings, though. Because even when Cham gets +1 on his roaches, we know Cham likes roaches, they're not going to two-shot the Zerglings until they have +2. And because those Zerglings do have +1, it's more normal to have unupgraded lings versus 1/1 roaches. But now they're 1/1 lings versus 1/1 roaches. And I think that actually makes the Zerglings pretty useful versus these roaches. I don't think you can just build a bunch of speed roaches with +1 and move out. I don't think it's going to work if Rex just floods out tons of Zerglings.
We'll see. We do have the Ling just trying to buy a little bit of space, running around the map. Cham is going to try and do the same, but gets caught by these roaches. Going to get completely shut down there. I think we just saw +1 weapons canceled there for Rex.
Yeah, he started it and canceled it like twice.
Okay. A little bit indecision there on what he wants to do, but we end up seeing the Lings for Cham. Wow. Managed to make their way all the way inside, but doesn't quite get to the main base where he would have seen absolutely no lair.
Zerglings.
Yeah, he's seen so many
units.
If
you had said that True was playing right now, I would believe you. You're like, oh yes, I'm going to just build Zerglings and drown you in blood.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough break for Rex, but if he can somehow make it work, now is going to be the time, right before +1 weapons is about to finish up.
Oh my god.
And that's going to be in 15 seconds, so I think the time is already gone now.
Is this the 100 Ling timing? It's 100 Zergling timing.
Wow, this is actually going to be 100 Zerglings. You weren't joking.
Yeah, wow, this is...
Well, Cham gonna have a hard time dodging out of the Corrosive Vials. That is a really nice little pairing right there, but look at this. Cham still pushes through.
What a bloodbath. And Cham does have a lot of roaches. He has so many roaches. 100 Zerglings, not enough to crack the army of roaches here.
Yep, and we're gonna see that Rex, now sitting down about 20 workers, is gonna get pushed back. These roaches...
37 drones.
These roaches have roach speed,
He has no economy. I mean, maybe if you had YOLO'd on like +2 for the Lings, but then he would have needed a lair. So
yes, that would not have been an option.
Yeah. No, it
was an all-in.
He's committed. I mean, like it's February 14th. He's picked a very committed build. What can you say? Ladies, he's clearly someone who doesn't back down from a decision. That can be good and bad, but at least you know what you're getting. Yeah. He's the type of guy that will continue to build Zerglings after 100 Zergling all-in fails. Sometimes that's all you need to know about it, man.
Sometimes because he doesn't have any other options. But here we go. We end up seeing the roaches getting surrounded once again. The Ravagers starting to get picked off, though, and Cham is starting to just dominate this fight.
Just too many roaches. Heaving and weaving and cleaving through. Cham takes game number 1.
Yep, very, very decisive hold there. And we end up seeing that Cham just... I'm actually not sure about the math that we were talking about, where I'm not sure that +1 Carapace cancels out +1 weapons for the roaches killing lings. I'm actually not... Because the +1 missile attack, you get 2 damage, I think. And the Carapace only reduces 1. I don't want to do math on stream right now, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
How much roaches, what,
I think
by default, do 16 damage per hit?
No, because if they did 16, then they would already one-shot lings. I think that they do 14?
No.
No?
16 times 2 would be
36. Wait.
32.
Yes, 32. 32, you're right.
Yeah, and it would
Wait,
be...
then how would +1 weapons?
+1 puts it at 36 damage because it's 18 damage.
Oh, yeah, 14. Okay. That
so,
does make sense.
Since when it's 17, it's 34 damage, so the Zerglings have 1 health.
Okay. You win.
I used to be a new caster as well, and they made me do all the ZvZs at the tournaments.
I said I didn't want to do the math on stream.
When you're a new commentator,
actually,
and you're forced to do all the ZvZs that Tastosis refused to cast, you learn 3 things. +1 for Baneling, or +1 Carapace for Lings keeps them from dying to Banelings. 2 Banelings trade against other Banelings, and everything in the world that has to do with roaches having +1 attack.
That's very true. Can we also just get a shout out for Nate for actually doing semi-complicated math on stream and recollection of individual unit stats? That was impressive.
You know, it's really easy to just call me, a Terran person and not knowing anything, but I could tell you, I probably know more about your units than you do, whatever race you play.
This is actually quite true.
The numbers are, to me, the numbers are some of the most fun parts of StarCraft.
You were busting out all the numbers today, too. You were talking about how much damage an auto turret does over the course of its life if it gets every shot off.
Yeah, well, it's important to know that. If you wanted to snipe a hatchery, right, you just... I'm not doing that math, but I think it's somewhere in the realm of 11 or 12 turrets.
How many Banelings kill a hatchery?
God, I'm not doing that.
All right, we're going to be starting up here at the top left-hand corner of the map. Top of the red Zerg player. He is sitting up 1-0. It is Chivo's Cham.
And his opponent in the southeast position, spawning as the blue Zerg player, he is Rex.
Got a lot to prove here in the elimination match for him. An elimination game as he's sitting down 0-1 in the lower bracket.
Yep. I mean, his head is practically mounted onto the guillotine as we speak. And if he can win this game, he'll wedge it up just a little bit. Won't be completely free yet, of course. But, yeah, this group is just... I mean, honestly, what we're looking at is it's like this group has 2 players that are 100% going to win and get out. Scarlet and Special are going to win this group.
Nathaniel,
I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable saying that. Like, they're both extremely good. We've seen them dumpster both of these players, and this is like, it feels a little bit like a desperation match. You know?
It is, because
neither player feels good about winning this match because they know they have to play Scarlet or Special.
It's really tough too. Scarlet, I think. I actually have seen a couple of times Cham has been able to beat Special. It's not very many, so I think that Cham would maybe stand a little bit better of a chance in that series than Rex. Just based off of Rex also versus Scarlet in the last series, I don't have a lot of confidence for Rex versus Scarlet.
With how Special,
round 2.
With how Special looked, and I guess my opinion may change in the winners match, but with how Special looked in his first series, I would say 100% both of these players should be hoping and praying that Special beats Scarlet, because I don't think anyone's going to take a map off Special today. I don't.
He's looking very good.
If he plays as well as he did in that first match against Scarlet, he's not going to drop a map to her either.
Yep, it's going to be quite a doozy of a match.
He looked perfect. He looked perfect in his first game today.
Perfect, literally perfect.
And I am not even a fan of Special in that way. That this is a genuine compliment for me to him, because I do feel like sometimes he does some weird strategies or lazy builds, but everything he did was extremely on point.
Okay, Cham poking forward with a few of these lings, of course going to get forced back now that there are 4 lings and a queen out here for Rex, but both these players adding on their Baneling nest. Still sitting at 22 to 24 workers. This is where we oftentimes see big floods of lings just to get defensive or a little bit on the offensive if you realize your opponent's not attacking you. But we'll see. Cham is the first one to start adding on a few more drones.
All right, yeah. Bailey Nest coming up. Everything looking very, very good for both of these players. And just to clarify, I do have beef with Special. He wouldn't trade me a shiny Bulbasaur, so we're basically mortal enemies till the end of time.
What were you gonna trade
The
it
only
for?
starter I don't have a shiny of.
What were you gonna trade it for?
I don't know, dude. I've got like 30 shiny Squirtles to trade. I just need a Bulbasaur, man. It's all I need. It's one of the few that I'm missing.
Of the original generation? Of Gen 1?
Yeah.
Ah,
That's
gotcha.
okay. So it's just Link Bane so far. Ah, dude, I want my lair, man. Get to lair. Let me see those Nidus worms. Come on, baby.
I had one Nidus Worm today. It did not go well.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. All I want to do is Nidus you. Let's go. Let's get it. Plus
That was
1
beautiful.
range. Yeah, I'll be... You know, I only feel ashamed I haven't started the poetry earlier. Today's game's been moving quickly.
They really have.
And they always do when we're in a group with Scarlet as well. The European matches didn't take too long either, I guess.
No, that's a lot of them were like 2-0s, even though there were PVZs that sometimes can go a bit longer. And then we did have also the Mothership and stuff. So we did have one game kind of go a little bit later with Drogo versus Namshar.
Yep.
But it was still it was a bit more of a one-sided game still.
Everyone's got dinner plans, man. Don't want to miss those reservations. If you got a deposit, everyone just starts cheesing each other.
That is actually probably true for some of these players.
Yep.
Okay, well, the Evolution Chamber for Cham going to be a good bit later, so he is going to have a much later +1 weapons, and that is going to be maybe a timing window where Rex can try and push in with slightly faster roaches with... Yeah, got one Baneling for the Ling. The Baneling's not going to be doing too much at this point, though.
No. The queens are marching very far off. There's a movie about a queen that goes to chase an overlord like this, by the way, and it ends with like the 2 queens just being on a different map somewhere. It's just because they walk so slowly. Like, how do we get back? I'd watch that. The movie is actually just Tasteless Narcosis, by the way.
I just imagine StarCraft 3, they change it so that the overlord speed, if a queen chases an overlord, the overlord natural health regeneration is equal to just barely keep the overlord alive every time.
They need to add stress and adrenaline, right? Like Zerg units should be like, oh, when it has adrenaline, it has a chance to miss, but it does more damage and attacks faster. Do you know what I'm saying? Overlord adrenaline, they move faster, but they only give 6 supply instead of 8.
Suddenly, StarCraft, every single unit has 5 health bars.
Exactly! And then Marines can get, like, spooked if a Baneling blows up next to it. Like, the Marine can get spooked and shoot the other Marine. In Control knows what I'm talking about.
Having, like, morale stats that you have to keep up.
Exactly!
Yeah. I remember there are some people who have, like, talked about, like, oh, man, it'd be so cool if your units leveled up and, like, more kills and stuff they got. Can you imagine StarCraft where you were trying to manage last hitting with your more expensive units so your Disruptor can have like a lower cooldown on its shot or something?
There's a world where that happened. Just saying.
Okay, well, we have just seen that both these players are starting to macro on up, but Cham has been able to get up a larger number of roaches for at least a little bit's time, but his +1 weapons is a good bit slower. You can see his +1 weapons is only just a bit ahead of the +2 weapons right now for Rex.
Look at this, 2 Dropper Lords, and we've got 8 Mutas coming out on the other side. I feel like this becomes insanely risky. There's no way he's going to use those Dropper Lords to attack, is he?
Cham just scout those out or something? He was moving out and then he started pulling back. I mean,
no way. He's not going to try to drop it. If he does, and the Mutas just like smack it down in the sky,
well,
I might laugh. I'm just going to apologize in advance.
The drone almost made a Nidus for him, then it canceled it. He was like, no, I'm fine.
Well,
I don't
he's
need
about
this.
to realize he needs a Nidus once he sees the Mutas, so it's okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, oh, yeah, I need Nidus. Start it. Do it, Rex.
Well, decent number of Mutas is enough to start picking off at least a handful of these roaches on the retreat back across the map. The rest of the Mutas, I think, are the Queens. It's just killing off some of those Overseers and the scouting information that Rex finally gets. But still no nice worm. Throws down a Hydronet and cancels it. No, has a Hydronet.
What is going on? Make up your
Rex
mind.
has been a little bit indecisive today.
Rex, I'm not. If you can't just stick to something and commit to it. I don't know how I'm supposed to be with you. Okay, here comes the roaches. Gonna go straight for the roach.
Okay, well these
good pick off, but there's still a lot of roaches already on the map.
He needs to get some damage done with this now because he is going to be losing every single one of these roaches, and it's not going to be a super efficient trade roach to roach.
He's got the Mutas, I think, at the 3rd base now.
He killed off or did some damage to the 4th base, and moved in and sniped off some drones over by the 3rd.
I wish the roaches had tried to take out the Spore. as they died. I guess it's better to shoot drones if you can.
Ooh,
oh wow, he
Roach
found
again. Maybe?
There's a Nidus somewhere building. Yes.
Nidus Storm is building over by the
by
third base.
Third base.
Look at all these drones that are not mining right now. The Roaches coming forward here from Cham while Rex is out of position. Rex is trying to go for some Roach run bys. He was able to get 7 workers, but he's lost 22.
Yeah, 22 is definitely a larger number than 7 for your Dragon. I completely agree with you.
I'm impressed that you did that math on stream.
Yeah, I got you.
Sportcaller gets focused right down. There's absolutely no defenses here anymore. The Nidus Swarm goes up inside of Cham's main base, and Cham does not actually have vision of the Nidus Swarm, so this might catch him a bit by surprise.
This just reminds me of the opening of the Matrix. Like, what good is a Nidus, Mr. Anderson, if you have nothing in which to put it?
It was a very, very dark and disturbing scene, by the way.
So anyway, there's nothing. I don't know what
There's
exactly
the Nidus.
I don't know what the strategy becomes here. There we go. He's like, you know what? You can kill everything in my base, and I'm gonna kill 2 of your bases. Instead, Cham is gonna just go home. Smite.
Gonna load the drones. I guess that is a safe place to sit for a bit.
Yeah, that'll do.
It is like a bunker for the drones.
It'll do.
And you see that Rex is doing his best to hold position at the top of the ramp, but Cham is just gonna bust his way forward with overwhelming numbers, even with underwhelming upgrades, pushes this force back. The Nidus Storm has to load back up all those units, but he's down to 18 workers. There's no transition.
Imagine if the Mutas had just stayed there and like killed the network.
Oh!
Tried to retreat.
Leave the Nidus Storm alive with 1 hit point or something.
Yeah, talk about GSL spoilers of Scarlet, man. Yeah, that'd be painful.
Well, Rex is adding on 10 drones, and 3 of those drones might die. Cham is up 1-0, guys, so this was an elimination match. Rex, of course, is going to try and fight it out because if he loses this game, he is out of WCS Winter, and he would love a chance to try and turn this around, but this is...
there's just not a whole lot that Rex can do.
He just doesn't have tools available anymore.
Anime's not real. He's not going to go Ultra Instinct and just kill everything. I'm sorry, guys. There's no emotional cutscene where he screams really loudly.
Spoiler
All
alert.
of his units do 10 times as much damage. He just
GG.
dies. GG!
Chivo Cham moving on to that decider match and is going to be facing off versus the loser of Scarlet versus Special.
That match I am super excited for.
I think a lot of people are. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, a big shout out to Rex. Had a good run. I think definitely made a few fans out there, as I know the Taiwanese and the Chinese scenes really don't get to show themselves as much in a lot of foreign StarCraft or non-Korean StarCraft stuff. So it's nice. We got to see a little bit of them in the round of 32. Rex unfortunately knocked out again, but keep an eye out for him in the rest of the WCS year.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Well,
good to see him. It's great. I agree with you. Best part about it is those scenes that don't get as much attention normally get to bring their best players out here. Even if they don't win, they still make money. Still a lot of money making it to the round of 16. So cheers and hope to see him again in future WCS.
Indeed. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that awesome match that a lot of people have just been waiting all day for. Scarlet versus Special is going to be the next one. The loser is going to go on to face off versus Cham. We will see you guys in just 6 minutes' time.